Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 13 of Grab a Cup of Knit and Chat. Today, I'm just going to do a quick little shout out to the Rose City Yarn Crawl. Um, I've already videoed this one time, and for some reason, my tablet has decided to not like me videoing with it. So, I'm not going to go through each and every shop. I'm just going to show you what I got, tell you how I felt about the yarn crawl, and do just kind of a really quick shout out for that. Sorry about the lighting. The sun keeps going in and out. I'm trying to keep it to where I don't have a glare on my glasses, and it's just not working great. So, first of all, I got my Rose City Yarn Crawl sticker. Rose City Yarn Crawl is in Portland, Oregon. There was about, I think it's 8 shops um, total all over Portland, and one that was in Forest Grove, which is kind of a little ways out. Um, I've done Yarn Crawl up around Seattle before, but I've only went to like one or two of the shops and never really did the whole thing because up there it's more spread out. So since this one is more condensed in an area, I decided I'm going to try it. I did it all in one day. I don't recommend that. As I live just a couple of hours south of Portland, I thought I could kill two birds with one stone. I had lunch with the grandkids and their parents, and I I enjoyed my day and I hated my day. First of all, I had to drive there. Second of all, you drive around the town, and it wasn't so bad traffic wise and everything as I thought it would be. It's just not very fun. It would be better if I had somebody drive me around. Um, it's I keep looking off because I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be nice, but put into feelings how I felt. I was very anxious. I was very rushed. I was very irritated. And I did get quite a bit of stuff, but at the same time, I probably would have gotten more had I been able to really look and enjoy the experience. I did not enjoy the experience at all. Let's put it that way. So each shop on the yarn crawl has their own little button, and I've put mine here on a scrap piece of felt so you can just kind of see them. It's not great. The big Rose City one is because I did all of them. So let's see, there was 2, 4, 6, 8 shops. I went to all 8, and I got this button after I had turned in my passport for the crawl. Um, the first shop I went to was the Naughty Lamb. It's I had a choice with the way that I drove. I could either do it very last or I could do it very first because it was kind of off the beaten path. Um, I went there first, and I'm kind of glad that I did because I don't think I would have went had I had to go there last. Um, I did get Hooker's Corner 31. I got a mini skein from the Naughty Lamb for them. This is called Bay, and this is 100% superwash merino. Most of you know that I really love my minis because I can put them in my Cozy Memories miter square blanket. I can use them with my beekeeper's quilt, and then I can add it to my granny stripe blanket. I like minis to, I mean, this is superwash merino. It's on a sock weight 4 ply. It's 87 yards. It's 20 grams. and it feels like 90% of the sock yarns out there. I would like to get minis that are made up of different things. Like if I wanted to try a wool silk blend, a wool cashmere blend, something like that, I would rather get a mini and work with it, putting it in my blanket so I could get the feel and like the some yarns just have a good smell. I would really like to do that with minis before I spend the price that some of them want. I did get to see Spin Cycle Yarns for the first time in person. Pricey yarn. I almost got one, but I decided against it. Again, I I hear good things, I hear bad things, and a shout out to any yarn dyers or shops that's out there. If you can get minis, that would be awesome because I would get a mini, I would work with it, and then I would decide if I wanted to do a sweaters quantity. I my money's precious. I want to know what I'm working with before I order that much. So I got that there, and I also got fully spun fiber in some colors that I really wouldn't normally get. This is Mareep. It's 2 ounces of fiber. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It was awesome. I got that at the Naughty Lamb. I decided there was not a whole lot of minis there, but they did have minis, and they did have different brands of minis, which I appreciate. And I had I not felt so crowded, I probably would have looked at them more and gotten more of the minis because that's what I was after, because they did have, like I said, several different ones from different dyers, and I I kept getting bumped into by other people, and I that irritated me, so I left. So I did grab this before I left. I had to wait a while to get back in that corner of the store, but I grabbed it, and I'm glad I did because now I'm gonna kind of spin my own mini. Um, and then I went to, where did I go next? I don't know where I went to next. I'm just um oh, I went to Close Knit. Not a fan of that store. I'm sorry. I I went in. I'm glad I did because um Fuzzy Peach Fibers was there, and I got this amazing skein of yarn. Look at that. It's called Elysian. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's 400 yards for 100 grams. It's on the Playful Sock yarn base. Love it. The whole time I was in that shop, I felt like I was in a line to see whatever. I went at a group of people's pace because they blocked the way. I stepped out for just a second and then I decided, nope, I got right back in line just to purchase this. Not not a pleasant experience. Too small for the amount of people that was in it, but I love this. It's kind of, I don't know if you can really, oh, that's it right there. That light lavender purple with the yellow and the darker pinks. Oh my gosh, the gold, the greens. Look at that. That's it. Perfect. Perfect colors. Look at that. Boy, the lighting showed out for that one. Anyway, not going to go back into that. Not a store that I would go to again. Um, Starlight Knitting Society. I would go back to, but it was so crowded. I barely got in, got my passport stamped. For those of you that don't know, on a yarn crawl, you have a piece of paper that you can print out and you take with you to each and every shop that you visit, and they have a stamp. And either you stamp it yourself or they stamp it for you to show that you visited that shop during that point in time. And then they give you the button and you shop, and each one of them is supposed to have, I'm going to kind of cover this up, but each one of them usually has a Ravelry download codes. Sorry, English is my first language. So that whenever you get home, they have patterns that each shop does specifically for the yarn crawl. And if you purchase something in their shop, then you can go on Ravelry, the code's on your receipt, and you can download the pattern for free. Close knit, that's what I got. It's playful sock. There's not really any code. No one said, hey, the code's there. This is the code. Basically, I had a lady say, hi, punch in how much it was. Somebody else wrote this out, handed it to me, didn't say anything else. I looked at them. I said, I suppose I'm done. They reached across me and grabbed the next person. Not a good experience. But back into it. Starlight Knitting Society, this little owl that's on their button, they actually have a shawl where they have an owl at it. I highly suggest going on to Ravelry, Rose City Yarn Crawl, and looking up the patterns for they have a little bundle that has all the patterns, or you can buy the patterns separate. I will be going on there to get that pattern. I'm not a shawl person. I just think that that's a cool looking shawl and I want it. So I didn't buy anything there. I'm going to get their pattern. I really enjoyed it. The line was just outrageous. The amount of people. I love the yarn crawl, and I'm so happy that everybody turned out for it. It was a decent day. We had spotty showers. It was windy. It was cool. It was warm. It was everything in one, and it was a decent time. I'm just a very anxious person, and when that many people is in a small area, I kind of freak out. So that's the only thing that I have against it. But it did show me a couple of the shops that I would go back to, like Starlight Knitting Society. I would love to go in there when I had plenty of time to look and just browse. The next one that I went to was Northwest Wools. And what did I get at Northwest Wools? Oh, that's where Fiona K. Knits was. That was her trunk show. And I got this little mini. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? She had several. It doesn't have a color name on it unless it's in the thing somewhere, but I'm not going to undo it. It's 92 yard, 20 gram mini. I love that color. I was standing there talking to her. I asked her if she had any more minis than what she had out, and she said that was all she brought. And I kind of wish now I had gotten the black one, because there was a black with a really deep dark purple, and I love it. So I may have to look her up and see if I can get that one. But that was Northwest Wools. And let's see, Fiber Rhythm. A lot of DK yarn. felting spinning. I'll go back there for the felting, I mean the spinning stuff. But what I got there was this cute little stitch marker from Wandering Muse. There you go. It's just a black diamond with gold. That's what I got there. For yarn's sake is my biggest haul. They actually had several things of minis there, and some that I've never used before, and I'm really looking forward to using. I think it'll be kind of cool. Um, so I did purchase more there. I got 4 minis there. Um, I I love this, and I'm gonna make an awesome pair of socks. But she had some other colors that I would have loved to have, and I think I probably would have gotten a mini of all the colors had they been minis there. So this one is Dream in Color Smooshy Minis, and this is Anything Goes. Aren't those colors awesome? I love it, and it is so soft. This is a 100 yards of 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. Love it. And then the Good Standby, the Knitted Wit Gems in Creamsicle. It's looking kind of orangey, but to me it's more of a yellow. Anyway, this is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's 46 yards, 10 gram. I love these. I get a lot of Knitted Wit minis because when I travel, I try to get a mini wherever I go. Especially if it's like a shop hand dyed yarn or a local hand dyed yarn, because I like to test out different ones and I like to support, but not all the time do I find something that I would want a full skein out of. But at the same time, I want to try out different things and different colors. Like this one, this is not my normal colors. Okay. This is more my normal colors. This is more normal for me. Even the pink is more normal. Yellow, not so much. These, not so much. So I get to play with different things that I know is going in my blankets, my scrappies, as I call them, that I can enjoy bringing in more colors than what I would normally use and get that joy from them. I like minis. This one is Unicorn Tails, and it is Grace Notes, 52 yards, and excuse me, 100% merino. Isn't that gorgeous? It's got blues and reds and oranges and grays and purples. It's pretty. And then next I got Bahramu Titus Mini and the Heathcliff color. That's just a really pretty purple. 70% British wool and 30% UK alpaca. It's 10 grams and 35 yards. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. British wool and UK alpaca. I get to try this out while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to crinkle more. I haven't even felt it yet. Ooh, that feels good. It's toothy and woolly. Rustic filling. But see, I get to play with this because I got the mini. And as I work with it, I'll be thinking about, would I want this as a cardigan, maybe, because that would be a really pretty. I'm putting it on sensitive parts of my face and neck that I know is going to be an issue for me if I was to wear something that has that rustic feel. So as I'm working with it, I can do that and think, am I going to be close to skin with this? Am I going to enjoy it? That's why I like to get the minis. I got that at 4 Yarn Steak. So if I enjoy working with this, then I can go on their website and see if I can get more and maybe get enough to make a cardigan, because that's what I'm thinking. That would be a pretty cardigan color. And if I could find, oh, what is it? I'm looking. If I could find something kind of goldish green like that, that would be a pretty color too. Anyway, so then I went to Ritual Dyes, and everybody I see talks about Sunday from Petite Knit, Sans Garn yarn, 100% wool, 100% merino wool. I've heard people talk about it a lot. Never worked with it. It is inexpensive enough. I mean, it's like $10 for 50 grams. So I don't know if I would purchase enough to do a cardigan or a top for myself, because I have to go into the larger sizes. But like for one of the kids, probably. I got, what is this? Passion flower and plastic pink. And the reason I got those is, let's see if I can pull it up on my tablet. It doesn't want to record for me, but when you look at the Ravelry patterns for the yarn crawl, you will see all of the patterns. Let's see. Let's search Rose City Yarn Crawl. Helps if I can spell. Okay, so here's the patterns. They have all of them from all the shops. And they do have where you can get all of the patterns in one booklet. Oh, here we go. The Strix shawl is the one I was talking about from the I have to stop and think. Starlight Knitting Society Company. Oh, words are not coming easy today. But look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's only $6 for the pattern. In this, they use Spin Cycle yarns dyed in the wool and Barocco Lannis Light. But it's just so pretty. There you go. Isn't that pretty? So yeah. Now back to what I was looking at or looking for is Ritual Dyes had the frog and strawberry hat. I can't really tell if you can see it or if the sun's in the way. And then they have, where is it? I will find it in a second. Well, I thought I would. Let's do it this way. Here we go. I had it in my library. It is the foraging bag. That's their crochet. Isn't that cute? It's done in two colors, or you can do it in one color. It doesn't really matter. Um, they did theirs in Durirum Nutra Albertine. And it's a 90% merino with 10% silk. Not gonna put silk in it. I guess it would be nice. I mean, I don't know. But mine's gonna be more functional. And I'm gonna use these two colors. I can't wait. And it uses a size F crochet hook. So hopefully I'll have that done pretty soon, because it's getting the time of the year where I'm going to be out foraging some. So maybe I can add that. I would like to do some pressed flowers and some different things. So yeah, um overall takeaway from the yarn crawl was it was awesome to do once. It's doable in a single day. Um, because I did take like 2.5 hours out of my day to go and visit with grandkids and have lunch and walk around mall type thing with them. And then I went right back to it, which is not bad. Um, Laying it out ahead of time to know what direction you're going to go is the best, like work from one side of town to the other side of town type thing. And they have a map, every year they have the map and everything. If I'm going to do it again, I want to do it with staying overnight and doing it with 2 days, so that maybe I wouldn't feel quite as anxious, and I could either go right at opening of some yarn shops on both days, or excuse me, closer to closing on both of those days, and kind of split them up quite a bit. um I do think going, since they start it and they have it going for 4 days and they have it doing on like a Thursday and Friday, I think probably going in the week would be better instead of waiting until Saturday when it seems like everybody goes. So I'm glad that I did it. Um, Weird Sisters is another one. And the short that I put up, I didn't buy anything there either. Um, but it was really cute. I put up a short yesterday where there was a alpaca from across the street that came over and visited us in line. I really liked the way that they did. They have kind of a smaller shop, but it's a bookshop, yarn shop together, and I love it. I wanted to spend more time there. The things that I really wanted to look at seem to have been groups decided that that's where they wanted to converge and like talk and look at what was there, and they were looking at what was there, and they were, you know, they were really talking about what they were getting and what they were doing. So I wasn't upset about it. I just, that was the next to the last shop, and I was getting tired and I was already irritated by some of the other shops. But what I wanted to say is a shout out to them for having someone at the door and counting how many people were inside and allowing people to leave before allowing someone else in. It kind of minimized that and made it more manageable. And there were a lot of smaller shops that I really wish had done that. And like Starlight Knitting Company is, it's a good size shop, but um and the Naughty Lamb and Close Knit was very small. But Starlight Knitting Company and Naughty Lamb, they were crowded, and they're larger shops. So I think if more people did that, it would make the experience go by a little bit better. I know people don't like that. They had to deal with that during the pandemic, and they feel like they're in that kind of era again. But at the same time, it makes it better for those of us who do get very anxious in large crowds. And I should have known better. But I did it. I'm glad I did it. I enjoyed myself to a point, but I think the fiber festivals are more where more of what I'm going to enjoy, because I've been to fiber festivals. I was just looking to see when the next one close to me here is. Um, they have the fiber, the yarn, the animals, pre-made things. They have everything in one big area. So for me, the next one, um off, which is Oregon Flock and Fiber, is supposed to be September 21st to the 22nd this year. Um the next Black Sheep Gathering is June 28th through the 30th of this year. Those are gonna both be in Albany, Oregon. Um, I know that some people don't like those, but I do. Uh, let's see. When is last year they had the very first one in Seattle, and I think that was Flock. That's supposed to be in August, I think. Um, I'll have to look and see when the next ones are, but they started one in Seattle last year, which is like a 6-hour drive for me. But while I'm there, again, I could see grandkids and do some visiting. I did not go last year because I had just started a new position, and um it's something that I would want to take a day to drive up there, do the festival, and then drive back either that night or the next day. So I couldn't take the time off. Portland had their very first fiber festival last year as well, and I did not go. And let me tell you something about the fiber festivals. I understand that you have a venue and you need to rent out the space and stuff, but you have people renting space to sell their things. That should be enough. I go to Black Sheep and I go to Off in Albany, Oregon. I've been going for the last couple of years since I've moved down here. There is no entrance fee to get into those, but yet the one in Seattle and the one in Portland thinks that they need to charge $25 a person to get in. And you have to pay for parking. So I'm not very excited about that, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to fork that out or not. So we will see. If there's something that I can go up and visit family and be able to take public transportation to, possibly. But I don't feel that I should be paying that much to be able to get into those events. Um, and I know that there's a lot of events like that that you do pay for. I think, and I could be wrong. I don't know that much about the East Coast and Rhinebeck and all of those, but I really don't see why we should have to pay to go in. But that's just me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my Rose City Yarn Crawl haul. And I'm sorry if I had some negative things going on, but all in all, the day was good. It was different. It was nice to see. I had looked for different yarn places when I've gone to visit the kids before and had only found one or two that were right smack downtown Portland. None of these were what I feel like right in downtown. They weren't difficult to find, they weren't difficult for parking, and I enjoyed all of them. So I hope you enjoyed the video and hope to see you soon. Bye.